Donna, I love your culture because I know so many people on your team, so it shines through them. So how does your culture come to life, and why is it so important to you?
Yeah, that's great. Well, to me, culture is everything. You've probably heard this, culture eats strategy for breakfast. I say culture eats strategy for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I think, this goes back to Simon Sinek and how great leaders inspire action, and people work with you or buy from you or conduct business with you because more so because of why you do what you do than what you do. And so I think the culture piece comes back to getting clear on your own mission, values, vision. And for me, even 25 years ago when I was a terrible micromanager, I unintentionally had opened a values-driven company. And I got very strategic about that probably 10, 12 years ago. So I think culture is steeped in what you believe and the way that you build culture. And I know Laura has way more information on this than I do. But the truth is, making sure you hire people. For me, my hiring process is first about values. If they don't get what we stand for, then I can never teach them how to set up somebody's CRM. Anybody can learn how to set up CRM, but they have to be aligned with our values. And so what I have found is that when you get clear on who you are and you put that out there in the world, and you articulate it and you're strategic about it, guess what? That's exactly what comes into your life. And it's not just the people I hire, it's all of you and the people I work with. And I think that adversity makes or breaks culture. And maybe what I actually mean is adversity, it's like they say when people get more money, it doesn't change the person, it just amplifies who the person was. I think the same thing happens with culture. Adversity amplifies the culture, and that's either positive or negative. And you can course correct, and Laura's definitely the best person to tell you how to course correct. But for us, and not unlike what Rachel was saying, when this first happened, I have smart people who work for me. If I don't talk about the challenges in front of me, they're just going to get more anxiety because they think I'm trying to hide something from them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't share every detail of my P&L with them. I share it with my managers. And I did. That was the first thing I did was I brought my managers in and said, okay, let's look at the P&L. What are we going to do? And I know all of you did that. We did the PPP loans, and that was an exhausting time. But once I got past that initial financial analysis and shoring up of cash, it was, okay, team, what now? And my goal, and this started, a while back, but my goal was to get everyone on the team selling. I only have 10 people who work for me, so maybe it's easier for me. But the truth is, if I'm working largely as, CEO and driving the company forward and working on strategy and strategic partnerships and those things, my people who work for me are actually in a better position to identify opportunities because they're on the front line. So just like we ask them, Laura, you asked, what do you need? Do you need a monitor at home? Well, I said to everyone, what do you see going on around you that you think you can do, that you think can help drive the business forward? Tell me, C3 team, how do we get everyone selling? And it was amazing how the bookkeeper had this fantastic idea and the front desk gal had an amazing idea. And so it is about getting everyone working towards a common goal. And when you articulate that goal and you invite people into that process, now, like Rachel said, they have less anxiety because nobody has control. We only have control over our behavior, but they have control over their behavior and they can contribute to the process. And for us, in terms of getting the whole team selling, the technology that glues that together for us is the CRM. So if Ellen's talking to someone, she puts notes in the CRM. If we do an event and we collaborate with Paradigm Marketing and Crothers Consulting, all that ends up in our CRM. So when something pops and I look at someone's record, I can see exactly what's going on. I had someone call this morning who was a client 4 years ago, and they used our telephone answering. We did what's called porting their number out. 4 years later, he can't find his phone number, and he was a little accusatory about us having done something wrong. And I went in our CRM and I saw all the notes from the conversation, and I said, here's the letter we sent you, here's what we talked about, and it just shuts it right down. So it's having systems that support the overall goals. So I think everything we do to build culture is driven with human interaction, but it's supported with technology and systems. And that's why I think it's so important, because this is how you scale a business. And I don't believe that bigger is always better, but I absolutely believe that profitable is better. And this again contributes to that profitability. I'm ranting. I'm going to stop now.
You can tell you're excited. And there's so many points in there, and I agree, bigger isn't always better. And the beautiful thing is when you work on all this, it shows to the client, and you're working then on your customer service. So
Absolutely. And in teaching my people to think like this, that's how they show up for our prospects and our clients, and what value we're bringing to the table.
Absolutely. And when you're bringing them into the conversation, you're helping somebody grow. It's employee development. Like you're teaching them on why they're doing something rather than just doing it. So that and that's the problem that I find as a leader when I see, I was part of a large law firm, and I see that time is valuable and that it's hard to spend time to teach somebody what to do and why they need to do it. So instead they tell them, just do this. And then next time it's going to come up and they're going to do the same thing. So if you spent that extra 10 minutes explaining why, it goes a long way. And that, again, it goes to communication and it has to do with culture, because you're investing your time in your team, and that it pays back in spades.